Blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning from Independence Indoor Shooting, home of the Independence Academy, home of the Girls with Guns winners. We'll have them coming by today to pick up their great prizes. Do want to thank our friends at Independence Indoor Shooting. And already we're going to hear from Art. He's here. He's always the first here for our remotes at Independence Indoor Shooting. But first, here's your chance to win up to $5,000 simply by going to KIDO Talk Radio under Win Kevin Miller's Money. All you have to do is type in this word, memories. The more words you get, the more chances you have to win up to $5,000. Listen at 6 a.m., 8 a.m. During the Kevin Miller Show, or at 3 p.m. for our great friend, the great American Sean Hannity at 3 o'clock. So let's find out what the latest is on Brett Kavanaugh, on Professor Ford. Is she going to testify, Rachel Sutherland?
Arizona prosecutor Rachel Mitchell will question Christine Blasey Ford and Judge Kavanaugh at the hearing. Republicans say they hired Mitchell, who has experience investigating years-old allegations, to depoliticize the process. GOP Senator John Cornyn.
But any Republican senator can ask questions they want to in addition, and certainly our Democratic colleagues are free to do what we're doing.
Committee Chair Chuck Grassley has set a potential vote on Friday, a move ranking Democrat Dianne Feinstein calls outrageous. Grassley says the vote could be postponed if lawmakers aren't ready. In Washington, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
And it's also good to see the return of Two Fly Bry. He's here. We'll hear from him coming up as well. So it looks like the Republicans have hired a female because the males are unable to or unwilling to sit back and to interview Blasey Ford. We'll take your calls on this, as we always do, at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. It seems like they figured this out, that, look, they're going to get banged for this anyway. They might as well vote. They might as well get Kavanaugh in and move on. Also coming up, if you love The Cosby Show, or if you loved Fat Albert, you remember, hey, well, Fat Albert, Bill Cosby, America's dad, Dr. Huxtable, is going away for 3 to 10. His attorneys are upset about it, and Cosby's laughing. We'll tell you about that coming up. So here we are at Independence Indoor Shooting. Oh, by the way, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. I know it's a little chilly this morning, but we'd love to hear from you concerning your thoughts on Judge Kavanaugh, Rod Rosenstein, which we haven't gotten to. But Art joins us now, and Art from Star.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'd like to talk about Kavanaugh, and I'd like to start out with a situation that our country is based upon, that you're innocent until proven guilty. But there's another type of law system that you find in Mexico. It's called the Napoleonic law. There, you're guilty until proven innocent. And what Congress is doing right now is they are operating totally outside of the Constitution. The candidate for the Supreme Court has already been declared guilty, and now he has to defend himself. It's all upside down and backwards. It's a travesty of justice. I believe that most of these congressmen should be charged with treason against the United States of America, and I think that's going to be coming quite quickly.
Well, treason, that's a heavy charge there, Art, on this chilly Wednesday morning. How do you back that up?
Well, it's in your Constitution, definition of treason. Treason against the United States will consist of making war against them. Question, who is the them? Answer, the first three words of your Constitution, we the people. Or adhering to the enemies or providing them with aid and comfort. And unfortunately, there is a problem with this Constitution, because the second paragraph is after the charges of treason. It's called a bill of attainder, has been written on an individual.
All right, Art, that's a little too heavy for me. Let's just get back to Kavanaugh.
Okay.
A little too over my head.
All right. Well, I think that what they're doing is just the most horrifying thing I can imagine. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to push this out till after the midterm elections, hoping that they'll pick up a bunch of Democratic seats and then completely block him. He's probably the best Supreme Court judge that we could have in maybe a century. I've looked at what he says, the fact that he can quote before Congress should know this, but he's quoting it to them, the Federalist Papers. Federalist Papers 27, Federalist Paper 82, whatever you may say. He's well versed in the law. So he's totally a constitutionalist judge, and that's what we need. Because a lot of the problems that happen in this country are a result of decisions being made that are outside of the Constitution. Everything from the refusal to have borders, proper borders, okay? Right. If you don't have borders, you don't have a country. It's simple as that.
All right, Art, we appreciate you, and as always, you're ready for the grand jury.
I'm ready for the grand jury.
All
You
right.
betcha. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be hearing more from Mark coming up. Phone number's here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You know, truly the deep state has an issue with the President of the United States. Did you catch the major networks last night? He was talking about America and how great America is. And then all of a sudden, the globalists, everybody else started, well, laughing at our president. Let's take a listen. And we will as soon as I put the audio back on here on 107.5 FM, 580 AM. There we go.
My administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
There we have it. The United Nations laughing at President Trump. Whether you like President Trump or not, you have to admit at 580-5436, 580-KIDO that President Trump has done a lot of great things for the economy, great things for America. Two Fly Bry, are you coming on, or are you just sitting here off the air in the wind? Our great friend Two Fly Bry joining us already. Two people here this morning to join us at Independence Indoor Shooting in beautiful Meridian, Idaho. Good morning, sir. It's been a while.
It has been a while indeed. I hope you're doing well.
I'm still employed. That's how I guess that's how we judge it.
I'm in that condition as well. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing. So what do you make of this Kavanaugh situation?
Well, you know, and I agree with Arthur. It's Arthur, right, or Art?
Art.
Art, thank you very much. That
Are
it's just a
are
travesty.
you awake?
Yeah, I am
Do you need to
awake.
get the air horns to get you going?
You know, I should have brought my air horn in. That would have been great to announce my presence here. That would have been really good.
Right.
Then people would be running out the door thinking it's a fire alarm or something like that.
True. So back to this Kavanaugh thing, because we haven't heard you on the radio about it. What's going on with it?
I don't think that you're going to, well,
A little too
it's
early
a difficult. It's just a difficult. I have too much
is
to
it-
say
is it
and not
too-
enough to say.
Is
at
it
the
too
same
early
time.
for you, huh?
It probably is. It probably is.
Wow. Well, you stand by. Let's go to Doug from Mountain Home, who joins us now on KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller in the morning. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Kevin, everybody at Shooting World. Yeah, you know what I got to say about it. It's just like what Art said about it. They are just holding off, trying to keep it off, you know, until the midterm elections. People, I've called into my Republican Party 2 times in Washington, D.C., and I have chewed their, and you guys everybody needs to be doing the same thing. Chew their, man, they're a bunch of wussies. They need to shove this guy through just like the Democrats would do to us. This guy belongs there. We need him in this country. They need to wake up and do what we're telling them to do. Call the Washington, D.C. Republican Party and your senators from here and scream at them and tell them what kind of they are. They don't need to have no lawyer talking to this that's coming from there because they're paid from Soros. Look it up. Kevin's already showed it that another lady, I don't even know if she was a lawyer or what, had the perpetrators' names and everybody on it, and at the end of it is George Soros. George Soros. It just infuriates me that this country even puts up with this crap, Kevin. I can't believe we even put up with this crap and see what's going on, what they're doing to this country, and we got a man in there that is the best that's ever been in there. He has saved this country from wreck. And what's going on, you're saying the UN's laughing at him. You know what, UN, I could care less. I wish they'd dump them. We don't need them. They're a bunch of, never mind, I'll get off, because I'm just going to say something that I'm going to wish I wouldn't have said on air. So start calling in, people. Call the freaking D.C. office. Have a good day, Kevin, because I'm going to try to now that I'm all worked up. Good morning.
Thank you, Doug. We appreciate you getting worked up this morning, as well as everyone listening to KIDO Talk Radio. Our phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Let's continue on. Phone numbers with Two Fly Bry joining us once again from Independence Indoor Shooting. Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Okay, when you wake up, then we're going to put you on. Get this guy some coffee. I love you. You're just
This is not me. The thing is, I usually am exercising right now, and so I'm into that. I'm boogieing into that and all that good stuff, and I'm just like blasé at the moment. So sorry. That's
okay.
Kevin. Our nation is
Now you're going to try and rally. Is that what you're going to try to do?
Our nation is in distress.
It is.
Our flags should be upside down.
Hold on. It is in distress.
It is.
It's like, hold on. It's like this program right now. We're in distress.
Well, Kevin, when this country starts killing its own citizens without any trial, innocent that they are, that's life in danger, extreme danger. That's when the flag needs to be upside down. And that is happening, as you know, daily. But even with the showing of what's going on in Congress itself, we have our own property in extreme danger, because I am going to tell you right now, Kevin, I do not support the nomination of Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court.
Well, let's get back to that in a minute there, now that you're awake.
All right.
580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller in the morning. Independence Indoor Shooting. We're taking your calls. We'd love to see you. We've got Art, who's telling us about the grand jury. He's always fired up, dapper, ready to go. Two Fly Bride, now that he's awake, telling us that we need to fly the flag in distress. And Chandler and George, along with Brian. We've got a group here that's ready to roll this morning. You want to come by and fire on the range, you can do that as well. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller, 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Independence Indoor Shooting in Meridian, Idaho. Jordan is with us, a finalist for the Girls with Guns. Why don't we have you step up to the mic there and speak a little good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about your love for the Second Amendment. By the way, congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just more of an advocate for hunting. That's why I use the guns. I'm kind of going that way. So.
Right. Let's just have you speak closer to the microphone
sorry.
so we can hear you. So when you're a girl with a gun and it's been so politicized these days, what's the reaction to people when you say, "Look, I go hunting. I love to hunt with my family," that sort of thing?
I think it's becoming more of a girl sport and more of a women's sport due to like some of the bigger, like Eva Shockey and Tiff and everybody that's kind of getting it out there. And so I don't think it's as much as a shocker, but when I first started, it definitely was one of those where you're like, well, you're a girl, you can't hunt, you can't shoot, so.
Right. And what do you like to hunt?
Everything. You name
Really?
it. Yes.
Well, where do you go to hunt?
That's a secret. You can't
Okay.
say that.
Any places in general, like up north?
Just around here.
Just around here. All right.
Yep.
So how did you hear about this contest?
My husband actually entered me in the contest.
Would you like to give him a shout-out this morning?
Yes, if he's done with the gym. His name is Scott. So,
Okay.
yeah, he entered me in the contest. Just told me, hey, you got entered in this. This is the photo I chose. I'm like, okay.
What was your reaction to that?
I started reading into it. It was kind of surprising how many actually contestants put in and how many votes, and it was pretty cool.
It's very competitive.
It was, yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks to all my family and friends for voting. So that,
And people that didn't know you.
Yeah.
You're probably a lot of strangers.
yeah, so that was cool.
So you've won a year membership here to Independence Indoor Shooting. Have you been here before?
No, I have not.
Oh, well, we're going to have, let's see, one of our, well, I guess we'll just have you, well, you don't need us to show you around. But if you can hang for a minute, we'll make sure we get your prize. We'd love to get a couple photos with you as well. And anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's everything. I appreciate you guys for having this contest. It was definitely fun, so I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, and thank you so much for joining. Please don't talk while we're on the air. Thank you, Brad. They get a little giddy. You put a microphone on them, and they don't want to talk. And then you don't put it on them, and then everybody wants to jump in.
Right.
And that's why I have a lot of issues. But anyway, Jordan, we appreciate you. We're going to let you hang for a minute. We'll get with Ryan. We'll get your stuff. We'll take some photos, and we thank you again so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We'll get with Jordan coming up, and if you'd like to meet Jordan, she'll be here till probably 6:35. Get to work. Anyway, phone number's here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO, 623 KIDO Talk Radio Time. We are taking your phone calls concerning the latest in the Kavanaugh hearing. Of course, Congress is ready to go. It looks like it's going to happen. The president yesterday sounding off, we've got a lot to do. Here's Senator David Perdue on Judge Kavanaugh.
Just last week he said that no matter what, he believes this lady. He hasn't heard 1 minute of testimony. He's already made his decision. Actually, he would be removed if this were a jury and he was being chosen as a juror.
Right. That is what happens. But you take a look at this, and we do have a female prosecutor that will interview Blasey Ford. Is this a good move, Mitch McConnell?
In the past week and a half, the American people have seen a confusing and chaotic process play out right here in the U.S. Senate. They've seen uncorroborated, decades-old allegations of wrongdoing pop up in the press at the last minute, just as Judge Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation process was winding down.
There we have it. That is one topic. The other is the United Nations and President Trump.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
There we have it. There we have it indeed. The president before the United Nations. We'll discuss that next on KIDO Talk Radio. First, traffic and weather together.
Larry Gebert.
Thank you, Larry Gebert. So here you have these folks sitting back and making fun of the President of the United States. I don't really understand it. I don't get it. I don't think that it's right, but it shows you the United Nations, they're not our friends. They're not our friends indeed. And so many people support the president. And I know what you're going to go through, because I'll go through the same thing at my place of business, where you're going to have the liberals, the progressives, and everybody else that are going to be sitting back and stating these things. And quite frankly, that is crazy. Art, why don't you get up for a minute, please? Thank you. You don't have to speak in the microphone for that. Let's get Jordan back here again, if we could. And, you know, Ryan, this is Jordan. She won the year-long membership, finalist for the Girls with Guns. We want to thank you for sponsoring this competition. And Ryan, meet Jordan, Ryan, and she's never been here, but she won the membership. So congratulations again, Jordan.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, we're excited that you had a chance to win that, and we're happy to award that to you today, and I think you'll enjoy coming here to shoot. And we've got a lot of women who participate in shooting here, and we just launched a new women's shooting league, the Independent Women. I think we have almost 40 members now in that group. They come here and they get lessons and participate in shooting, and they get to do that together as a group of women, and that's been really fun.
And here's another thing. She likes to hunt.
Oh, awesome.
She's a hunter, so might be able to improve your skills. For people that haven't been here, and to our finalist, Jordan, what's Independence Indoor Shooting like? They hear me talk about it all the time. Why don't you talk about it?
You know, we're one of the nation's finest indoor shooting facilities in the country. So we've got an awesome pro shop in here, about 6,000 square feet of retail, full of everything you need to go shoot or hunt. We've got a state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, over 21 lanes. 2 of the ranges are at 25 yards, and the only 100-yard range in the Northwest indoors. So there's opportunity to shoot both handguns and rifles here, and practice and do it as a sport or prepare for hunting and different things like that. So
you're shaking your head. What do you think?
That's pretty cool.
All right.
Pretty excited.
And for people that would like to stop by, can stop by anytime. You're open till 9, Monday through Saturday.
Yep, we are. Yep, we've got a great staff here that can help you. You can bring your own gear, or we can rent stuff here and just have a great time.
Sure. Well, again, your husband Scott, right?
Yeah, thank him, right?
Right. He's the one that she didn't even know. He put her picture in, and there you have it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is great. Well, we just wanted you again to thank you, Jordan, and we appreciate it. And Ryan, your thoughts on this contest? What did you think?
It's a lot of fun. We're excited to have women that love to shoot and participate in the sport. So it's been a fun thing to do.
Sure, and you have classes for women, for kids, for everybody here, right?
Yeah, we do. We've got a great academy with dozens of different classes that we offer for training and education, and great services with the gunsmithing and everything like that, getting a lot of hunters ready to go out this year.
All right. We appreciate it. Coming up, more of your phone calls. We'll check in with our friends from Fox News. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Radio. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Kevin.
And blessed to be a part of your day, Kevin Miller in the morning. How about Jordan winning the Girls with Guns membership to Independence Indoor Academy? And I love the story. Her husband said, hey, I entered you into this contest, and lo and behold, she wins. Congratulations to her, and certainly I want to thank everybody that participated, and we understand that you have a lot of choices throughout the day, throughout the morning, and we appreciate those of you that participate here on the Kevin Miller Show, whether it's 107.5 FM, whether it's 580 AM, whether you listen in Wilder or CUNA or Meridian or Star or Boise or wherever, Mountain Home. We appreciate it. I always equate this program to like a small business, so everyone is important. Everyone counts. And look, we let you know where we stand. We're with President Trump. We're proudly trying to work to get President Trump to come to Idaho, and that's where we stand. You have other people that are proud of, their people, their candidates, and they should be, like Paulette Jordan. When you have people that are, promoting Paulette Jordan, well, they promote her values. We promote the values of conservative people that love the Second Amendment, that love the state of Idaho, and that certainly want to support the president, unlike the United Nations. If you're just waking up, this was the big talking point last night on network television.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
What could the president do at that time but just sit there and kind of roll with the punches? We've all kind of done that as well. If you're just waking up, it looks like Dr. Ford will be testifying, and the Republicans have hired a female to handle it. We'll get back to that in a minute, but what does it say that most of these countries, including the United Nations, well, they benefit from our generosity. They benefit from us giving them the money. We give them foreign aid, and our president talks about this. It's just crazy. Thank you, Ray Amai, for letting me know that Rachel Sutherland is standing by. Otherwise, Rachel, I'd be continuing to be opining about the United Nations. Thank you for saving me from my diatribe on globalism. Good morning.
Good morning, Kevin. Happy to do it.
Okay. All I have to say is, what's the latest on Judge Kavanaugh? What's going to happen, Rachel?
Right. Well, good morning. Yes, we know more now about the prosecutor that's been brought in, retained by Republicans to ask questions at tomorrow's hearing. Rachel Mitchell she heads up the Special Victims Unit in Maricopa County, Arizona. She's had 26 years with that county, and she really has a lot of experience investigating years-old allegations, which is something that could prove helpful. However, Christine Blasey Ford's attorneys have said that when she tells her story, she wants members of the Senate Judiciary Committee to be asking the questions, not an outside prosecutor, in this case, Rachel Mitchell. Now, they haven't reacted to the news of Miss Mitchell specifically, and it could be that anything could happen. I mean, this story, Kevin, has really taken a lot of twists and turns, and at this point, this hearing is set for tomorrow, but, I guess it's possible the Ford's attorneys could say we're out of here. Also, Chuck Grassley, the Senate Judiciary Committee chairman, has set a tentative vote for Friday. The ranking Democrat there, Dianne Feinstein, calling that outrageous. But Grassley has said, hey, they could postpone this vote if lawmakers do not feel ready.
Right. Of course, looking at the tea leaves, I don't know if Vegas has odds on it. It looks like, well, if it goes to plan, but nothing has gone to plan on this one, that we could have a vote. We could have it done by, Monday or Tuesday of next week Although it's interesting whether or not the Republicans will have enough votes to make this happen. I guess it all depends on tomorrow. That's why I guess we've got you trying to read the tea leaves. I know you're not, you're just reporting, but,
No, I'm fine with that. There are some Republicans who have been undecided. I think last count was about 10 that hadn't weighed in on how they were going to vote. And then there's 4 that really people are keeping an eye on, and that's Senators Jeff Flake, Bob Corker, Lisa Murkowski, and Susan Collins. And so all of those are Republicans that could turn and have a lot of pressure to vote against Kavanaugh. And then you look at some of those Democrats in red states like Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Joe Donnelly of Indiana, who are up for re-election. These states went for President Trump by a landslide in 2016, so they have that on their minds. We know, of course, that Lisa Murkowski of Alaska is really a key vote. Now we're hearing that she would support possibly an FBI inquiry into these allegations. So that's a pivot there. Because she said that we're now in a place where it's not about whether or not Judge Kavanaugh is qualified. It's about whether or not a woman who has been a victim at some point in her life is to be believed. So we're seeing now Lisa Murkowski looking like she could turn a little bit, and Republicans, Kevin, only can lose 1 vote. They have a 51-vote majority. So say they lose Lisa Murkowski, then the vice president would step in and cast a tie-breaking vote. But if they lose another, it's just going to be musical chairs until all of this plays out. And I think that Chairman Grassley, if it looks like this isn't going to happen, he's not going to bring this to the floor for a vote and have it fail.
Well, I think, Rachel, as you've accurately pointed out for, it seems like years, but we'll just go with weeks, that it comes down to Corker and Flake and what type of legacy that they want to have. Because they're not running for re-election.
That's right, because they're on their way out, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're on their way out. Jeff Flake is on the committee. He could certainly try to nix it in committee, but that probably won't work because then there's a parliamentary procedure in which Grassley can bring this to the floor anyway. Bob Corker, also on his way out. But Lisa Murkowski isn't. And I would say, because she's been a little bit more vocal, that she's the one right now where the spotlight is on. That could change. There could be somebody else that comes out and makes a statement of some kind. The rest of them have been pretty quiet about this, and you really can't blame them. This is just so high profile and a lot to take in.
Rachel, we appreciate you. You have a great day.
You too, Kevin.
Our great friend, excellent reporter, Rachel Sutherland from Fox News Radio. Remember, when you hear Fox News and Judge Kavanaugh, you're listening to the only station that has access to the Judge Kavanaugh clips, because we are with Fox News Radio and so proud of that association. Let's go. By the way, if you're in Meridian, in Nampa, you want to come by, maybe you'd like to shoot, maybe you'd like to meet some of the contributors of the show. You want to meet Jordan, who's a finalist for our Girls with Guns, just won a year membership to Independence Indoor Shooting right here in beautiful Meridian, Idaho. Why don't you stop by? We'll be here till 9. You can meet Art. He'll tell you about the grand jury. Two Fly Bry will tell you why the country's in distress. And we're like your antidote to optimism in the morning. We give you the real stuff. You know, so many people go, hey, everybody, it's going to be a great day. No, we're telling you about the grand jury, Kavanaugh, and the country being in distress. It's a very much a unique way to start the day. Now, our friend Gene Lockhart with the Boise Rescue Mission will say, Kevin, I can't take your show. It scares me. No, Gene, this is just our way of waking you up in our own unique, lovable way. Let's go to Tom in Nampa on KIDO Talk Radio. Tom, thank you for your patience. Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning. Say, again on this business of we presume a person's innocent until proven guilty, that's in a criminal trial. And in a political situation, hey, everything's up for grabs. It's terrible if this has come to the state that it has. And when this lady just previously talked about the dynamics of the vote possibly swinging against Kavanaugh, I think Murkowski is the one to really keep your eye on right now. I don't think Flake and Corker will jump the fence, but the case that I told you about in Alaska where people are pretty outraged up there over a judge letting a guy off that's on a sexual charge, nothing related to Kavanaugh, but she's kind of on the fence. But how about this scenario? Collins and Murkowski vote against Kavanaugh, but then Manchin of West Virginia has probably been one of the strongest supporter of Trump nominees, he votes for him, then that makes it a 50-50, and Pence breaks the tie. If that would happen, I would think that the Democrats would come down so hard in the Senate on Manchin that I think he could be convinced to bolt the party and join the Republicans. There has been a case where a few Southern Democrats have done that over the years, and I think that would be an excellent thing if something like that happens. But I think it is time to call for the vote. And,
well, you know what they've done is they've allowed these red state Democrats a reason, a get-out-of-jail-free card. Well, I couldn't vote for Kavanaugh because of these unsubstantiated allegations. That's really what it's come down to. That's what they've done. They've given Claire McCaskill, Tester, Donnelly a reason not to vote against this guy in a state where Donald Trump carried that margin significantly. And really what it comes down to, and you're a smart guy, and I can't spell this word. You've ever heard of the term Pyrrhic victory? Tom?
Go ahead, explain that.
Right, it goes back to the Roman days, and Pyrrhic victory is where you win, but it was so costly. And one could argue that if the Republicans win, if you believe the hype and the propaganda from the blue wave media, that it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory, but one worthwhile. If the Democrats win, it will be costly to them because it will motivate the base, which I don't understand why anyone would not be motivated to vote, considering the Democrats have already said they're going to impeach the president, they're going to impeach Judge Kavanaugh, they're going to turn the country upside down. Now, if the country were in chaos like it was during the Obama years, I could see that. But times are really good. And I guess we never appreciate the good times until they're gone.
Well, yeah, you make a good statement there. You know, I think something that's far more serious right now is this whole Rosenstein thing. And I'll wait and comment on that tomorrow because I don't want to take too much time, but I got quite a bit to say about that, the 25th Amendment that I keep talking about. But I think the Grassley and the Republicans are smart in having this female come in and question. Not that they're scared of there's any number of Republicans on that committee that are good interrogators, but you know, the press, the Democrats are all screaming, they're all old men.
Thank you.
And so, okay, let's let a woman question her then, you know. And so I think that let's see what happens. And let the chips fall where they may. And, you know, I don't know. The whole thing stinks, I think, and I think the majority of callers have felt that way from the very beginning on the way the Democrats have behaved. But let's face it, that's politics for you. Well, I'll call back tomorrow and talk a little more about Rosenstein. It's not taking any more time today.
Thank you, Tom. Take care. Boy, Tom's always talking about he doesn't get enough time. Now he's ceding his time back. We'd love to hear from you. We're in Independence Indoor Shooting, Meridian, Idaho. Stop by, shoot, have a good time. We certainly are celebrating the Girls with Guns finalists. Our friend Jordan is here, and we would love to see you. If you've never been to Independence Indoor Shooting, it's incredible. We're talking about thousands of retail space. You've got accessories, you've got gun safes, you've got firearms, you've got ammunition. You have everything you need, whether it's training, whether it's a firearm, whether it's ammunition, right here at Independence Indoor Shooting. Nice, clean, new facility. Let's go to Pete in Mountain Home with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, Kevin. In the interest of full disclosure, I've been a member of the National Rifle Association for 45 years. I am currently a benefactor member. I give lots of money every year to their political victory fund, and I'd like to point out that putting Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court, the reason the Democrats, one of the reasons they're fighting so hard, is with a 4-4 tie when the Ninth Circuit comes out with some idiotic decision that says, no, you don't really have any individual right to keep and bear arms, and it gets appealed to the Supreme Court. A 4-4 tie means it's not overruled, so that's now the law. And the Democrats this year, the Democrat National Party, gun control is one of their litmus tests for candidates. It's gun control, it's abortion rights, and it's support for same-sex marriage. But they're going all out on gun control. and you look at the NRA's candidate endorsements, the Political Victory Fund for Idaho, and it's interesting, all of the Republicans, Brad Little, Lawrence Wasden, Janice McGeechan, and Lawrence Denny all have A and A-plus ratings from the NRA, although statewide officers do. The Democrats, Paulette Jordan has an F rating, and all the others have question marks because they did not fill out the questionnaire from the NRA. They didn't answer it. And that's because they know that if they came out and said something that was in accordance with Idaho values on firearms, the Democrat Party headquarters would denounce them and they would not get any money. So they're just not saying anything, which tells you basically that if you vote for a Democrat, you're voting for gun control.
And that's the bottom line. Pete, thank you.
Thank you.
580-5436, 580-KIDO. Let's go to Bob in Caldwell. And Bob hung up. Shame on you, Bob. Coming up next, more of our guests here at Independence Indoor. No, it's not that, Bob. It's Bob in Caldwell. But, Bob, you're more than welcome to call back. We are rolling this morning, celebrating the Second Amendment at Independence Indoor Shooting in Meridian. Stop by and see us just off Overland Road, right behind the new Gem Prep Meridian. Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Blessed to be a part of your day at Independence Indoor Shooting. By the way, if this is your first time listening to the program on 580 AM or 107.5 FM, you might hear some live fire going on. We've got some folks in the back on the range getting ready to go. Two Fly Bride joins me once again, and you were kind of bummed out. You were ready to go back on the range.
Yeah, I think it's good to go back on the range. You can get some good practice. It's I like the memberships they have here, and it gives me opportunity to get in here more often because, you know, it's just a good thing, and then that cuts down on the need for, you know, I like to use my own firearms. I also like to rent a few, like the machine gun they have here. That's pretty cool to get your hands on.
Well, I hear them firing in the background, and we'll get to that in a minute, but it is an awesome place to be at Independence Indoor Shooting. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. So back to this Kavanaugh thing.
Well, they say that, you know.
And if we could turn him down a little, please. Thanks.
Because I'm just like Major Wow now. And, you know, a lot of people are screaming it's treason what's going on in this whole Kavanaugh process. So I'm going to use treason in a
Well, that's
sentence.
Art. That's Art that said that earlier this morning.
And so other people are as well. So I'm just going to use treason in
so far it's you.
Here.
Hold on. So far it's you and Art.
There we go. You're overruled then.
I see.
In a Democratic vote. So there you go.
Go ahead. All right. Do you agree it's treason? What's going on?
Well, all I know is that when I buy some land, I'm going to put some treason on it. Trees on it. There's treason in a sentence. You
know, I'm so happy that we went to you. KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. From Independence Indoor Shooting, coming up, our friend Greg Pruitt will join us from the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. We'll get to him next hour. We would love to stop by and, hear what you have to say. You'll be hearing some live fire going on as well. And coming up, America's dad, Fat Albert, goes to the pokey. Of course, if you saw that, you were wondering why is Bill Cosby laughing? Number one. And number two, will he get a sentence overturned? His lawyers, his publicists, they weren't happy about it. Here's what they had to say on KIDO Talk Radio.
In Nevada, we are going ahead in 2019 to have it abolished. Laws need to change in order to make sure that these folks, people of this nature, are held accountable.
There we have it. They're getting rid of the laws against sexual assault. They're getting rid of the statute of limitations. So after 20 years, you can still be held accountable for something. On one hand, you have Bill Cosby, who's been convicted. On the other hand, you have Brett Kavanaugh, who's been convicted in the court of public opinion. If you're just waking up, the Senate has agreed to terms. You will have a female prosecutor interviewing Blasey Ford, and then you will have the Democrats, interviewing Blasey Ford. The female prosecutor will also interview Brett Kavanaugh. This is going to be a big one, and we'll have the very latest for you coming up.
Leader McConnell owes an apology to Dr. Ford for labeling her allegations a smear job, and he should apologize to her immediately.
And that is from the leader of the Democrats, Chuck Schumer. It's going to be fireworks Again, what the crazy thing about this is that Kavanaugh's qualifications have been lost in this. Isn't that what this is truly about? Kavanaugh, probably the most qualified judge that we've had in this process since Scalia. Now, Brian, you're shaking your head at me. You had your chance, and you went with a little yuck joke, so we can't go back to you. However, coming up, isn't that really – haven't the Democrats already succeeded? They have derailed the process and made it about allegations, not qualifications. More on that coming up from Independence Indoor Shooting in Meridian, Idaho. Kevin Miller, good morning, KIDO Talk Radio.